So
this would be, as Diane described it, and what we really, I think the board here is, from what I understand, I haven't talked to the board members individually much, or at least Diane and I've chatted briefly on this, is that there seems to be a sense we did kind of encourage the legislature to go ahead and provide this benefit because we were locked out. We couldn't go any higher. But that's to answer your question. Anytime any benefit, any additional benefit you give to an employee is a cost. If we provide our employees post-retirement benefits, as many counties do, the cost of that benefit is going to be, it will pale in comparison to what this would be.
Got a couple of issues with that, Jack. As much as I may agree with this thing here, I don't think we have good cost numbers on it. And I think we, in order to act, we certainly got to have good cost numbers on it. We have a year or two for these provisions, and we could do that any time through the year. Number one, post-retirement health benefits. I'm interested in what you said that a lot of counties provide post-retirement benefits for county employees. As I get out and about, I find that there's not that many counties, and that's in respect. You're telling me North Pickering saying that. I'm hearing it the other side. There is pieces done, but not full health care post-retirement benefits.
He told, just to correct, I mean, I'm speaking for him, and I mean, that figure seemed high to me.
Yeah.
But they're providing, his words were, if I didn't state them as he did, some type of post-retirement benefit beyond their pension.
And again, I'm trying to put everything into perspective because, I know we got a contract coming up, and, how are we going to act and respond to that contract? I frankly think that we need some kind of room for negotiation. I may agree with this 100%, but we got a major contract coming up with 7 unions. I think number one, we got to have a cost analysis, and definitely you're saying it. I mean, we're taking a hit here of general fund dollars or money going into the retirement fund of $2 million, right?
Well, half of it's coming out of general fund.
But understand,
the state picks up the other half.
It's still got to come someplace.
Yeah.
And that's what I got to look at. I understand. I really like it, but I got to look at cost. What it's going to cost, and I need to see those, and that's just me.
All costs, like everything with the pension fund, it's not a simple fact of costs. It's what the market value of the portfolio is. Norm's estimate for our annual appropriation this year, I think, is going to be was 2 point. What was it, Bill? 2.2 million.
Yeah.
That figure may now, because just looking at where our pension fund, the market value of our pension fund assets are approaching $70 million as of the other day when I checked. So it's a combination of what the market value of our pension, the value of our pension, which is, we're getting closer back to where we were a few years ago. We were actually overfunded and could have quite easily paid for this benefit when we were $10 million overfunded.
Right.
I couldn't convince the board members at that time that we needed to sequester that $10 million surplus. But we're getting close back to full funding. I think, Diane, you would agree, as we're this year's been a stellar year in general for pension funds. Not to say that the market can't change overnight, but it's a combination of both.
And it has before changed overnight.
Right. So that's one of the reasons.
And that's just my feeling on it. I think we need some good numbers, trying to take a look at it, and especially with the negotiations coming up. There may be some provisions in here that really would benefit some of our union employees too. By going to 140.
Clearly, it's a benefit to union, non-union, management, all employees, including myself. I mean, I won't make any pretexts. I mean, it's a pension benefit. as opposed to other types of benefits you give the employees. You give them a raise. Well, how much your raise ends up in your actual final disposable income? Not a whole lot. Here's a benefit that a way you can reward an employee who sticks it out and stays here, and rewards their loyalty to their employer. And you do kind of, in a way, by deferring a decision, the employees who retire between today and if the board is to later take an action, they lose
they miss out.
benefit.
Right.
There's no way you
Whether-
can give them that benefit.
Right.
They've lost it.
Yeah, it's gone.
If there's a sense the board wishes, and I'm not going to be a dead horse here, I did have the sense that there was support amongst the board. I know Commissioner Anderson supports the measure, does he not?
Talked to him, but
Yeah.
he supports it.
And with the retro feature and the 140th basis.
And it's a, Mr. Kay said it's a cost.
Well, I think we can act at any time, Bill. You know, we have the year to do it. And, you know, I understand, you know, that there's some that, you know, may affect. But on my perspective, I think I gotta know what the costs are. I mean, we're gonna have to, you know, put some money in our general fund, you know, on a retirement, you know, and we're doing it this year. I wanna make sure that we have everything into perspective.
There is, I mean, if cost does become an issue to the board, when I say the Board of Commissioners, ultimately it is the board that has to fund something.
Absolutely.
There are also, you know, if we're going to give an employee benefit on this end of the pension fund, you can reduce your contribution by reducing, for instance, the amount of interest they're being credited on their pension money. Presently, we're at the max. Some counties, it's 4%. The law allows 4 to a maximum of 5.5%. We have been crediting for many, many years the maximum amount of 5.5%. That's a pretty good rate of interest
Right.
today. Show me where you can get 5.5% tax deferred. Some counties give a lower rate, and if you drop down to that lower rate, obviously that reduces the county's contribution. If we drop down to the 4% rate, it might, well, I'm told it could reduce anywhere from $300,000 to $500,000 a year in that appropriation. So that's an option that would always be there and available if the board sees a funding issue. Like I said, we've had a consistent pattern. When the legislature increases the benefit, we have moved accordingly, and over the years we've moved from the 100th to the 180th to the 170th to the 160th class basis. We have
And we've seen the contribution go away. At the same time, we're increasing benefit
Right.
yeah.
based on our...
Yeah.
on our-
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing is we've lost, last couple of years, at least 3 directors to the state. Some have moved to Harrisburg, basically.
Well, that's
benefit.
yeah. That's one of the things I've heard about down around York. That county can't keep county employees because they'll go to work for the county and then they'll jump ship to go to work for the state because of the benefit. And that's geographical. But, you know, you have mobile people, they're willing to move.
And that's, I mean, and the word's out now amongst county employees. They now know that their and I use the word co-workers because they really are, literally, their co-workers are, which to me, in a deep visceral sense, seems unfair. That Leah Shields is making a better benefit, and I'm just using her as an example. What's that?
I think you're right. Let's go for it. I think whatever the cost is, and we, 6 months or 3 months down the road, we find out that it's palatable, and we adopt it then anybody who was 90 days before that date is left out in the cold, and that, as a trustee, I feel an obligation to that person that if they could increase their pension 45-50%, that means a lot.